Gervonta Davis say you need the money.
Shit.
What's going on with you and Gervonta?
If I'm a boxer, he a boxer, you a boxer, we all need the money.
I ain't doing it for free.
Thank you.
What if Gervonta said, hey, I'll come up to 154. I'll come up to 154 while you talking.
Oh man.
You go to you'll fight Gervonta at 154?
I wish him the best. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck. Him. If everybody including Will, I mean, Will. Fuck.
Question for you.
You're a proud father.
Boxing has its own hierarchy, and Terence, Bud Crawford made it clear where he believes he stands. During a recent live interview, Crawford took aim at Gervonta "Tank" Davis in a way that went far beyond a few indirect comments. What began as a relaxed conversation quickly shifted into a direct challenge. As Crawford questioned Tank's recent performances, the image surrounding his career, and even whether his most recent victory truly deserves the credit it received.
Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, oh, this guy, you a meat lover.
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Y'all was doing the back and forth shit. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or
Man, I just really don't like that dude. You know?
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. No, I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. Like he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah.
He definitely got skills. He got power. He got tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways, nah.
This wasn't simply another exchange about boxing. Crawford was sending a much bigger message. He made his position unmistakably clear. He recognizes all the attention surrounding Tank. He's heard everything being said. But he isn't convinced by the hype that in Crawford's view. Tank hasn't exactly been rushing toward the toughest challenges. And with those comments, Crawford has reignited the tension surrounding the lightweight division. Anyone who believed the friction between these two had finally disappeared may want to think again, but there's a lot behind Crawford's words. Not just what he said, but the message underneath them, and the way he delivered it. The entire moment carried a much stronger impact than a simple fight discussion.
You said going out on 3 fights. You know the last 2 fights you want to go out on? Yeah, this just
The last fight?
The last fight you want to go out on. Like, who? Do you have anybody in mind?
No, I'm saying no. I don't have no name right now. But I got somebody I want to call out after this fight.
You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Is it Lomachenko?
Somebody asked Lomachenko. All right. Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that?
Oh,
Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready.
I need 3 now.
Yeah.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a 1-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not worth it. He's not worth no multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Come on, man. Ham got to fight somewhere else and prove himself, and then you feel me? You know how they got UFC and the underground shit? He got to fight on the underground shit and get that.
He got to go to the G League.
You have an idea?
The first major moment came when the interviewer brought up Tank's earlier remark that Crawford was only interested in the money. Crawford's expression immediately changed, almost as if he couldn't believe what he had just heard. Then he answered with a simple reality check. Everyone wants to get paid, and he isn't stepping into the ring for nothing. But Crawford's response went beyond the paycheck. He appeared to be challenging the idea that Tank somehow stands apart from the business side of boxing. At the end of the day, both men are professional fighters. They compete for championships, recognition, legacy, and financial rewards. So Crawford questioned why Tank would present himself as though money has nothing to do with his career. Then came another revealing moment. The interviewer asked Crawford about the possibility of Tank moving up to 154 pounds to face him. Crawford didn't hesitate or show much excitement. His response was essentially to wish Tank well. The message behind that reaction was pretty clear. Crawford isn't waiting around for Tank. If Tank genuinely wants that matchup, he would have to make the move himself and prove he belongs at that weight. And moving to 154 would be a completely different challenge for Tank. Based on Crawford's response, it certainly didn't sound like he viewed that potential matchup as something worth getting excited about.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, and, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-count.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
There's a reason he has never tasted defeat. He understands his value and refuses to spend his best years chasing unrealistic fights against opponents who struggled to get by Lamont Roach. But the conversation took a sharper turn when Crawford went beyond questioning Tank's record. He broke down Tank's most recent performance with remarkable precision. Once the discussion shifted to the Roach bout, Crawford made it clear that he had plenty to say. Crawford also focused on the instant when Tank dropped to one knee, arguing that the sequence should have resulted in a knockdown being recorded. He questioned why officials allowed the moment to pass without that ruling, but he then highlighted another unusual scene from about. Members of Tank's corner stepped onto the apron during the action to clear grease from around his eyes. Crawford suggested that this went beyond something merely questionable and raised concerns about whether the rules had been properly followed. But Crawford didn't stop there. He also raised questions about referee Steve Willis and the way he handled the count. According to Crawford's criticism, Willis appeared to begin counting before abruptly stopping, creating the impression that the decision may have been influenced from outside the ring. At that point, the discussion moved beyond ordinary fight analysis, with Crawford's comments raising serious questions about the officiating and what happened inside the ring.
You can help me out on this. This last fight, Roach and Gervonta. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Man.
I mean, you can't take a knee. That's a knockdown. Because I saw Floyd break his hand hitting the guy and took a knee, and they gave Floyd an 8 count. So I'm trying to figure out how Gervonta avoided that. And then I'm trying to figure out how he got his guy come up to the top of the ring and wipe grease out his eyes. They do that now, bud.
I guess that's part of the new, boxing era.
When you saw that, tell me when you saw this, you saw him take a...
Crawford said the situation became even more confusing when someone from Tank's corner appeared near the apron during the action. He admitted that even he was trying to figure out exactly what was happening. He also questioned the referee's handling of the count. Crawford acknowledged Steve Willis as an experienced official, but he found it strange that Willis appeared to begin counting before abruptly stopping. To Crawford, that sequence raised obvious questions about why the count was interrupted. His conclusion was straightforward. Without the knockdown ruling, he believed Tank would not have secured the victory. Crawford actually leaned toward Lamont Roach as the fighter who deserved the edge. That assessment stood out because it came from another top-level boxer. Crawford wasn't simply praising a fellow star or following the popular narrative. His criticism centered on what he believed he saw inside the ring. That I end Crawford's view. Tank may have entered the fight with too much confidence. He suggested that Davis failed to give Roach the respect he deserved, and that approach nearly came back to haunt him before the final result was decided.
And then you see he go to the apron and this guy come up to the top of the ring. Well, he's like, hold on, what's going on?
I'm just as confused as you. I said, huh? I was just like, oh, that's crazy. And Steve Willis is a great referee.
He is.
And he started counting, then stopped
it.
Like they said, hey, you better stop counting. Oh, wow. Hey, don't do that again.
Most people expected Gervonta "Tank" Davis to make quick work of Lamont Roach. Another dominant performance, another highlight reel finish, and another big night for the star. Instead, Roach had a completely different plan. From the opening bell, Lamont refused to back down. He applied constant pressure, picked his shots carefully, and fought without hesitation. What was supposed to be a relatively straightforward matchup quickly turned into one of the more difficult challenges Tank had faced. Then came the 9th round, the moment that changed everything. Roach connected with a clean combination, finishing with a hard right hand and a shot to the body. Moments later, Tank dropped to a knee, leaving everyone watching stunned. That IT didn't look like a simple loss of balance or an accidental slip. The sequence appeared to be the result of Roach's perfectly timed attack, and many viewed Tank going down as a legitimate knockdown.
Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Terence Crawford wasn't the only prominent name to question what happened. Major boxing figures, including Eddie Hearn and Oscar de la Hoya, also took to social media and argued that the punch should have been scored as a knockdown. In their view, there was little room for debate over the call. The referee's decision not to count it completely shifted the momentum. Looking back, that missed call may have played a major role in Tank keeping his unbeaten record intact.
How is this not a knockdown? Tank Davis was just exposed, man. What is going on in the sport of boxing, man? KDB Sports and Entertainment.
I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about.
But there's another important detail. Davis and Roach had already crossed paths years earlier as amateurs. Both came from the DMV boxing scene, so they weren't strangers heading into this matchup. That familiarity may have led Tank to believe he already understood exactly what Roach would bring.
It's my opinion. Sure. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision, or I think a draw was meant to be. So I like the draw. No, if you take the knee, man, if you take the knee in the 90s, Or in 2000? You're taking a point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. The referee with the eyes, he's like, a point should be deducted if you take a knee. It's a fact. It's in the rule book, right? The fact that they didn't take it away, then that's where the controversy is, right? It's not, look, did Gervonta get hit? Was he dazed? Who knows? Only he knows. But what I saw, when you take a knee, that's an automatic point. That's just the rule. This is not basketball. This is not, this is not basketball where, wait, hold on, my ankle hurts. Hold on, let me take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing. It just doesn't happen. Whether he had something in his eye or not, you have to fight. There's 3 minutes to fight. So if you take a knee, if you go to your corner, the rules are the rules. And I don't know what New York is gonna settle on, but the rules are the rules.
Crawford's point was simple. The professional game is nothing like amateur boxing, and the level of impact is completely different. If Tank steps in believing his past reputation alone will carry him through, he could be in for a serious reality check.
That night, I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. Look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, that, he should be
One of the interview's biggest talking points came when Crawford challenged the lack of matchups between boxing's biggest stars. He pointed to names like Teofimo, Lomachenko, Shakur, Tank, Garcia, and Haney, highlighting how many blockbuster fights fans have been waiting to see. In Crawford's view, these potential showdowns remain stalled because of the politics surrounding the sport.
Face. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Oquendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard hit, bro.
Crawford argued that this era will be remembered poorly if its biggest stars walk away with perfect records without ever testing themselves against one another. In his view, being one of the best means proving it against other elite fighters. He even acknowledged that he wouldn't be the only boxer carrying a defeat on his record, showing that he values real competition more than protecting an unbeaten image. But that's why Crawford's comments about Tank go beyond a single matchup. His remarks suggested that he questions whether Tank is willing to take the toughest opportunities, if doing so could put his undefeated record at risk. And when the discussion turned to the Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis fight and its rehydration restriction, Crawford offered a more balanced assessment. He felt Tank was likely justified in agreeing to the condition, while also pointing out that the restriction may have limited Garcia's effectiveness on fight night.
Gervonta Tank Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, Roach and him, back and forth battles and whatnot. It's gonna be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight. And I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
Crawford then pointed to a deeper problem within the sport. He brought up fighters who officially make 130 pounds for the weigh-in, only to put on a massive amount of weight before stepping into the ring, sometimes reaching around 165 pounds. He never directly mentioned Tank Davis, but the implication was obvious. For Crawford, this is bigger than just one fighter. His comments highlight how many loopholes exist in modern boxing, and how those advantages can create an uneven playing field. Tank could easily be seen as one of the most recognizable examples of that situation, but Crawford's criticism didn't stop there. He also argued that the division itself has become overcrowded, creating another major issue for the sport.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like?
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
Yeah, I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
but like his core personality and his ways.
There's no shortage of top-level talent in boxing, yet genuine high-profile fights remain difficult to make. Most fighters appear focused on protecting their position and thinking several moves ahead. Meanwhile, supporters are growing increasingly frustrated while waiting for the biggest names to finally face one another. Terence Crawford recently pointed towards Saudi Arabia, suggesting that major financial incentives could be the key to bringing these elite fighters together. Crawford has made it clear that he's willing to travel, accept the risks, and chase the biggest challenges in the sport. The question now is whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis is prepared to show that same willingness and step into the kind of matchup fans have been demanding.
I think all of them should fight,
I mean, you got Lopez, Teofimo, you got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Tank, you got Garcia. You got 5 guys. That's a nice little.
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney, yeah. You got 6 guys. Don't nobody want to fight nobody?
I don't know. I think they all should, be fighting each other.
Well, so what we got going on?
Politics.
Bro, if Shakur and Haney and Tank, if all of them leave, if they retire with undefeated records, that's some bullshit. That's some straight up, and you know it too, bud. Ain't no way those guys should have undefeated records. If they're out in their prime and they damn near in the same, no, ain't no way.
While Bud continues pushing for serious, competitive matchups, Tank appears more focused on exhibitions, online controversies, and questionable victories. That contrast speaks for itself. Then Crawford delivered the line that seemed to shut down the entire Tank discussion. His words were simple. They already know one another, T first. That statement may not seem significant, but once you look deeper into what he meant, it carries a much bigger message.
Garcia and Tank, they talk about they might fight again, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot made about this rehydration clause. You don't have that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you have this in this one. So theoretically, he's supposed to come in at 168. Not in the fight, he might be 180, 185. You cool with that? I had sat down with Oscar, and Oscar said he think the rehydration clause had a lot to do with why Ryan didn't defeat Gervonta. What do you think?
I think 2 things. I'm gonna say 3 things. I think Ryan had an injury already previous in training.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way he did have an effect on him, because when you see him with Devin, he was totally different.
Oh yeah.
Fighters.
Crawford's point is that fighters like Tank, Ryan, Devin, and Shakur have been around one another since their amateur days. They've watched each other develop, studied each other's styles, and understand where the weaknesses are. That raises the obvious question. If they already know each other so well, what's really keeping these matchups from happening?
How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible at a catch weight?
No, ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
You're not even entertaining the catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at.
All right,
I'll welcome.
Maybe the reason these fights never happen is because these fighters understand each other a little too well. Tank may already know which opponents pose the biggest threat, and that could explain why certain matchups remain untouched. Crawford, however, presents himself as someone willing to face whoever is in front of him. whenever the opportunity comes at SO. This interview went beyond a simple criticism of Gervonta Davis. It carried a broader message for boxing as a whole. Crawford's attitude reflected what he believes a true champion should represent. No avoiding dangerous opponents, no sidestepping difficult challenges, and no trying to make ordinary victories look bigger than they are. That he wants elite competition, the hardest possible tests, and he wants those fights to happen now.
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Tank, if this message reaches you, there's no hiding from the spotlight now. The boxing world is paying attention, and Crawford has made it clear that your name is part of the conversation. If you're ready to see Tank face a truly elite challenge against someone like Crawford, hit the like button. Then head down to the comments and make your prediction. If these two finally meet, who comes out on top, Crawford or Tank? And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications. We'll keep bringing you the biggest fights, controversies, confrontations, and breaking stories from the boxing world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.